Good morning, Essential Therapy followers. And let me show you the actual sunrise. Of course, the one car that's going to go down the road right here. So I want to talk to you about consistency again this morning, and not just about consistency in self-care and good things for our body, but let's talk about what happens when we are consistent doing things that aren't so good for us. So eating the wrong foods, for example. This year, I've heard it from people all over the place how they consistently were inactive during the whole spring, and we all know why. They were eating more food, sometimes not the best food for them, maybe some comfort food there. And so what happens is, as the body adapts to those situations, it's not so great, right? So the body is only going to maintain a level of fitness or function, strength, flexibility, whatever you want to look at, that we are requiring of it. So if you're sitting at home all the time and you don't need to, your body doesn't need to walk a mile or 2 miles, or it doesn't need to bike, or it doesn't need to go up and down stairs, it is very efficient. So it's not going to use precious resources to keep the body at a level where it can do those things, because I like to think of it as the body having its own, its own mind at a cellular level, right? So it's like, hey, we don't need to be able to do this, so why put our energy here? Why put our resources here when she's not asking us to do this thing? So it gets deconditioned. And believe me, I know about deconditioning because I was on complete bed rest in the hospital for my first pregnancy for almost 3 months. So I could do a whole video on just that experience alone and how difficult it was and painful it was to be inactive, because the body just doesn't need to keep its strength and endurance or flexibility or anything when you don't ask it to. So keep that in mind today, because whatever you're choosing to be consistent with, that is how the body is going to adapt, right? So there's a transformation that will happen whenever we're consistent. And do you want that transformation to be a positive one, or maybe a not so positive one? So, for example, when we exercise and we ask the body to do more and create more movement, it will respond if we do it long enough. That consistency has to happen, because I like to think of the body on the inside saying, hey, she's going to keep doing this to us. We got to pump it up. We don't like to feel uncomfortable. So if I go out for a 6-mile walk and I haven't been doing that, and I may feel some soreness the next day, I may feel achy, I may feel like, I don't know if I can do this, blah, blah, blah. But if I do it again and again and again and again, close enough time, the body is going to adapt to that, because it doesn't like to feel that discomfort, which is fantastic, because it will literally create new areas of blood flow. It will create storehouses in our cells to help us with that, more mitochondria. It will develop a greater lung capacity. The heart itself will begin to beat stronger with each beat, because it needs to get that blood out there into the body. There's so many amazing things that happen when we exercise and do other self-care things. So when we think about myofascial self-care, I'm smiling because my dog friend down the road is greeting me. I went by her house and she missed me a few minutes ago. Anyway, when we do self-care to help our fascial system, and we lengthen our body and gently give it that chance to adapt to this new position, and then that fascia and the restrictions start to ease, then we get more motion, more ability to move, which is huge, right? So think about what we are doing in our lives and what we're being consistent with. The body is going to adapt to whatever that is. So you have a choice to make. Do you want it to be a positive adaptation or a negative one, or a not so great one? Either way. So more on this. We'll talk more. I'd love to hear your questions about what it is you would like to hear more about, and what are you being consistent with in your life, and what would you like to change about that? And that will be Serena. See, I consistently come out here and then she follows me. Have a great day.